The Dolphins drowned the Broncos. Dallas disaster in the desert. Steelers D returns to dominance. Indy stun the Ravens in overtime. And the Texans manhandle the Jags. Episode 4 starts now. Welcome, beautiful people, to episode 4 of the Two Dudes podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Freak.
And I'm Babs. Week 3's in the books, so let's talk about it.
All right, Babs, we're going to dive into the most recent slated game to memory, and that's going to be the Sunday night game. The Steelers versus the Las Vegas Raiders.
This game made me really happy.
This game, I mean, as I stated at the beginning of the episode, I mean, the Steelers defense was dominant from kickoff.
They
They left right off to how they played against the Browns.
Yeah. I think a lot of what their defense was able to play, they weren't playing the whole time. Like, time of possession, Steelers had the ball for 30 minutes. So their defense was rested. When their defense is rested, they're going to play better. So this was the most balanced game I've seen from the Steelers in so long.
Oh, definitely. I mean,
like, we had a running game, we had a passing game. Like,
y'all played complementary football.
And with Pittsburgh, their offense was staying on the field, getting first downs, which was giving their defense time to rest. When their defense had time to rest, these guys came out and were stupid, like, and that's all it's going to take. And if they can keep doing that, they can be really dangerous. Their offense still has some holes. But you could see that it's starting to come together.
Right. I mean, look at their offensive performance from this week compared to last week. Last week it was a home game, a home Monday night game, and you had the entire stadium chanting to fire the offensive coordinator. Yeah. This week, I mean, granted, you could probably say that this was another home game because, I mean, Steelers faithful, they
travel really well.
They travel well. I mean, it was complimentary football, top to bottom. I mean, Pickett was 16 of 28, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
this is what we were expecting from him.
The Steelers had any
first
turnovers.
2 weeks.
They didn't have any turnovers, no interceptions, no fumbles. They played good. Their running game is still lacking a little bit, but between Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren, they had almost 100 yards, just those two.
Right.
Which is we had 105 total rushing yards.
What the first 2 games, Najee Harris was averaging maybe 30 yards. We had 19 carries for 65.
Yeah, they were getting a run game going, which opened up the pass, made it a lot easier for Kenny Pickett. It didn't seem like Pickett was under a lot of pressure.
Pickett's better when he plays off of the run and he uses play action.
Yeah, and the Raiders' defense isn't a bad defense.
No, they're not slouches.
But they were able to get the run game going, which opened up the pass game. I mean, it's week 2. If it wasn't for the defense, Steelers would have lost. This week, the defense did their thing, but their offense put up points. I think this is the most points I've seen the Steelers offense put up in a while.
Hmm. I mean, it was all your scores were all offense. You didn't have any
Yeah.
defensive scores,
Yeah, no, it
like
was
y'all did
overall
last
it was
week.
I was, there was some stuff I saw. I'm like, we got to work on this, but they played really good. I'm not
No,
mad at this game at all.
no, overall, it was a solid performance. Um,
And this is without Deontay Johnson.
right. He's y'all's number two
Calvin Austin,
receiver,
Calvin
so
Offense, he stepped in.
he's a
Um,
rookie, right?
no, he was a rookie last year, but he got hurt, so he missed the entire season last year.
Okay, okay.
So this is his second year, but it's really his first year playing.
So Pittsburgh has the Texans next
Yep.
for Week 4, and Vegas has the Chargers
Mm-hmm.
next. So, and the Texans, we'll actually, uh, Texas had a pretty big win. We'll go ahead and jump into their matchup.
I think we
Um,
both took off by this one. I
this
think we
one
both picked
was,
Jacksonville.
yeah, we both had Jacksonville winning this game, and the Texans, they just they just out they just manhandled Jacksonville
Yeah.
in Jacksonville. Like it wasn't
Yeah,
even
that was
close. It was they beat them by 20. Like
they did them really dirty. And the bad part is Texas played really good. It's like Jacksonville just I don't know what's going on with them right now. I just don't know. I mean, would they have
I
how
mean
many rushing?
Lawrence he had an all right game. I mean he was 27 to 40, 279, a TD and one interception. I mean his QBR isn't where you want it to be, but I mean
I don't know. It was just like anything the Jags did, the Texans had an answer for.
yeah. Yeah.
It's like
Compared compared to Stroud's first two games, he's
he played really good.
he's 20 of 30, 280, 9.3 on average, two touchdowns. Here's the big thing: no turnovers,
Yeah, 0 turnovers.
zero turnovers with a QBR of 83.6.
I think he's coming in a little fast. I didn't think he was gonna catch on as fast as he is. I thought it would take probably like 5, 6 games before he got into a groove.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like he got into that groove pretty early. And he's catching on. He's starting to play really well.
I mean, they were up 17 to nothing going into the start of the second half. I mean, despite like what their defense was allowing the first two games, coming in and blanking your division winner last year that hosted a playoff game in the first half is
Yeah.
pretty impressive. But I mean, that just that just goes to I would put it on their coaching. They've got a good defensive minded head coach.
Yeah,
Um,
they're just playing out. They're playing good
right.
all around.
Their
Running, passing,
their
they're just
top
playing
two
good.
draft picks of last year's draft are paying off. They got the edge rusher from Alabama, and then Stroud,
Mm-hmm.
and both of them had impacts in that game. And there's reasons. I mean, Trevor wasn't sacked or anything, but I mean, he had that interception. I don't know how, and they had a fumble.
Yeah, they had a
So
fumble too.
they had two turnovers. I think that fumble was forced by the rookie. Yeah, Will Anderson is the rookie's name.
Yeah.
He was the one that forced that fumble. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this division is kind of wide open.
Yeah, it's really, I mean,
I mean,
anybody's game right now.
the team that's leading this division is the team that everyone expected to come in last, and it's Indianapolis at 2-1.
Yeah, and they're playing. We'll get into that one later, but yeah,
That's just it was it was a really surprising performance, but it's one of those games that if you had it on TV, you probably didn't turn it off.
yeah. I know when we were watching, we were like, "Whoa, what is going on with this right
Yeah,
now?"
that was definitely
Because
Stroud's
I think we
come
both
out
picked up,
performance. That was like his welcome to the NFL
and
moment. Like,
I think we both picked Jacksonville to win that.
mhm, yeah, I didn't give Houston a chance,
I didn't think Houston's. All right, well, let's
but
see.
hey, Jacksonville's 0-2 in the division. That is not the way you want to start.
Yeah, that's definitely not how you want to start in
Now
the division.
that puts them in a big hole. You've got Indianapolis. Um, I think they're 1-1 in their division. Yeah, because they beat
Yep.
Houston,
They're one
and
and
then
one in the
Houston beat
division.
Jacksonville. So, I mean, the thing is, Indy has to beat Jacksonville the next time they play if they don't want to go to a tiebreaker with Houston. And Houston needs to lose the next time they play Jacksonville. So this division is wide open. Because Jacksonville probably should be 0-3. And Indy should probably be 3-0. But Jacksonville had that strong performance in the second half against Indy to start the season. So
Yeah, and this is a division. It's like it's wide open right now, so they better
yeah, I
they better
mean
step it up
Tennessee
and
lost again, so they're 1-2, just like the Texans in Jacksonville.
yeah. So somebody better step up, and or else the Colts are just gonna run away with it.
Mm-hmm. So bringing up the Colts, we'll dive into our game of the week. Indianapolis stuns the Ravens in overtime, 22-19.
Yeah, that was wow. I think it wasn't. I don't think it was on, but I think we watched the end of it, didn't we? Or we
Yeah,
caught
yeah,
the
we,
end of
we,
it.
we caught
Yeah.
we caught the overtime period
And what's crazy is
because we were
Indianapolis did
waiting.
this without their starting quarterback. They did this with a backup.
Yeah, we were waiting for the Dallas Arizona game to start. We'll get into their matchup after this, but Minshew,
Yeah, the man went 27 for 44, 227, a
no picks,
touchdown. Nothing. No, like what?
and then Zach Moss had a fucking game, 30 carries, 122 yards. I mean, Baltimore needs to figure something out in the running back room because when your quarterback is your leading rusher, I understand that it's Lamar Jackson, but come on.
Yeah, and what really hurts them is now Edwards got he
He got
left the
hurt.
game.
Oh man,
He's in concussion protocol. So like running, so Lamar Jackson
he's
had to
probably not
handle it.
playing this
He
week.
ran for four. Lamar Jackson had the most carries on the team. He had 14 carries for 101 yards, and then 22 for 31 with 202 yards passing. He didn't have no picks or anything, but the man had to do everything. It's like he had nothing backed up.
Mm-hmm. And
I
his
mean,
leading
you have
receiver
Melvin.
was Flowers with 8 receptions with
Yeah.
only 48 yards. So
Mm-hmm.
they had no passing attack.
They got
It,
to get
it, it
something
was all
going.
on the ground,
Yeah.
and they scored in only 3 quarters, and
Yeah.
that's not really gonna win you many ball games.
No, it's they got to do something because this isn't going to work. Their division is one of the toughest divisions,
Definitely.
and especially since they're all playing good right now. You
Steelers
can't.
won.
I mean, Bengals won.
Bengals won.
Bengals have the. They can come back from that 0-2 start.
Yeah.
Cleveland's been playing good, so it's not a division where you can slack because if you're not on your A game, you could fall really far.
Mm.
So that's
I
kind of
mean,
concerning. It's like they couldn't put up a lot of numbers. I mean, Lamar Jackson had 2 rushing touchdowns, but he had
that's
no
it.
passing touchdowns. That's it.
Yeah, that was it. Their 2 touchdowns came in the first quarter to start the game, and then to start the second half.
Yeah, they had like no pass game at all.
They had that, what it looks like a safety and field goal
A
in the
field
fourth
goal.
quarter. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I mean, there's not much
It's like they couldn't get their offense going at all.
It was all a run game, and it happened. Most of it was in the first quarter,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and then that rushing touchdown because they're already down by 10 points, or it could have been no, could have been 6 points if I don't know if Indy started with the ball or not. So whatever the scoreline was, I mean, the reason why he has 31 passing attempts is
Yeah.
that he had to pass the ball because they were down
Like Baltimore's a good
majority of the
team.
game.
I think they're gonna have to figure out. They got to get the run off of Lamar a little bit because he
Right.
can't do it all.
Well, I mean Beckham didn't even play.
Yeah. I
So
think he's
there's no
still out
sense.
with an ankle injury, right?
Yeah, I have no idea, but
I think it's an ankle injury.
that's not really good. I mean, that shows that he's a little rusty, coming off missing an
Mhm.
entire year, coming off that ACL tear in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
We'll see if they can turn around. I mean, the total yards they had more total yards, but the time of possession went to the Colts.
What they're gonna have to do, what Ravens have to do, they got to get Mark Andrews into it in a little
And
more.
Baltimore had 2 turnovers, so that's another reason. Like they got to be more secure with the football. I
Yeah.
believe one of them was a fumble. I think that they ended up bringing Melvin Gordon into their on the
Yeah, they
team,
got
and
Melvin Gordon and Kenyon Drake.
it was Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake
Yeah,
came
Kenyon
in,
Drake
had a big
fumbled.
run, and he fumbled. So they just got to get better at like they can't, especially against teams that they're expected to win
Yeah.
against. I mean, I really wouldn't. I think we both had the Ravens here as well.
Yeah, we did.
We were wrong. So
I mean, Indy's playing good ball, but
it's like everyone
at the end,
expected that with the Jonathan Taylor situation that they weren't going to be good.
but Baltimore's offense has got to be a lot more explosive than it was.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're still a good team. They can turn it around. It's just one game, but they can't play like that again.
No, they're going to start getting into more of that tougher part of their schedule when they're going to have more division games.
Next week they play Cleveland. That's
So, I
always
mean-
going to be. That's always a tough game for them.
Right, and they don't want to start the season 2-0 and then end up being 2-2, but then you're 1-2 in your division.
Yeah,
That's not good because that's going to help.
Yeah,
It's going to help Cleveland. It's going to help every other team in that division, especially the Bengals, and they started 0-2.
yep. And they're 0-2 in the division. Cleveland's 1-1, Baltimore's 1-0, and Pittsburgh's 1-0. And so they have to win next week. They cannot start 1-1 in their division, or
Well, they're already 1-1 in the division. Well, no, they're not.
no. Baltimore is 1-0 in their division. They play Cleveland next, and if they lose that, they'll be 1-1.
All right, so yeah, that's they. I mean, with all the talk that Lamar said that he wants to throw for what he said he wanted to throw for over 6,000 yards this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean,
he ain't gonna do it like that.
no, he's not, and especially if he's leading in passing and running, like
Yeah,
he's gonna have to
There's
not run the ball if he wants to throw for 6,000 yards,
yeah,
and it's gonna be kind of hard to do when when other defenses know how to slow down his receiver.
mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be interesting. They play Cleveland next. Who does Indianapolis play next?
Indy,
They play the Rams.
the Rams. Yep.
And the Rams came off of that shellacking that the defense gave Matthew Stafford. So, I mean,
Yeah, who knows on that one?
yeah, I'm pretty sure I know who I'm going to go with on that game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do too.
So, moving on from that game, from our game of the week, we're going to go to a game that I really want to talk about. I got some things that I need to say and get off my chest. I kind of already told you this right after the game, but yeah, we're going to talk about the Cowboys versus the Arizona Cardinals. and that disaster of a defensive performance.
Yeah.
Um,
Offense played great.
Despite that late interception at the end, I mean, a lot of people are writing that. A lot of people, some people aren't writing it off because they just love to talk negatively about Dak Prescott. Yeah, he shouldn't have thrown it in triple coverage, but
But
I mean,
at that point in the game, he's trying to make something happen.
right. There's 3
He's
minutes
gotta make
left in the
something
ball
happen.
game. We're down 12 points. We're down 2 scores. He's got to we fit it in a tight window. Maybe we get a touchdown, go for 2, and we get a lucky onside kick. I mean, that's
That
literally what we
interception
had
isn't
left.
the reason why the interception isn't the reason why you lost.
No, it's not.
He played a good game. He went 25 for 40 with 249 with a touchdown before that. I mean, he played good. Your offense played awesome. Tony Pollard had 23 carries for 122 yards. He was averaging 5 yards a carry.
The only issue I have with the offense is that we were 1 and 5 in the red zone
Yeah, they couldn't get it going in the
for
red zone.
touchdowns.
I mean, the ball got spread around a good amount.
And that's we were like that. We've been like that all year. We've only out of 19 trips into the red zone so far for Dallas's offense, we've gotten 2 touchdowns out of it.
Like the offense was doing it. I mean, your offensive time of possession was 34 minutes against Arizona's 25.
Right.
Like the offense were doing what they had to do. They were chewing up clock. They were moving the ball. They couldn't do nothing in the red zone. I get that, but they were moving. They were chewing the clock up.
Right. I mean,
but it was
we couldn't do anything.
Stop.
We couldn't stop the run. We gave up 222 rushing yards.
Holy! I didn't realize. Oh wow! I didn't even realize.
You want to know how many yards we gave up the past 2 games combined?
Not that many.
180.
Yeah.
We gave up 180 in the first fucking half.
Yeah.
This is my issue, is that what I've noticed from not really the offensive players, but a lot of the defensive players, is they've done a lot of talking this offseason. Regardless, I understand that some of them are going on other podcasts and they're getting by these bigger networks and they're being interviewed by former players and everything. But when you're not on one of these shows or whatever, or if you are saying unnecessary comments or not, I mean, just talking in general, like the defense was not prepared for this ball game. Point blank, period. The first snap went for 4. It was a 44-yard run by Josh Dobbs, and he's a fucking rocket scientist. He was studying for a fucking nuclear physics exam a month before the season started.
That's crazy.
In the first play, you let him go for 40 yards. So, what I want to see from this defense is less talking during the week about either the team that you're playing or the team that you're getting ready to play or a team that you just any other team. It doesn't matter. Focus on your assignment, the game plan, and let your pads do the talking and show up, because the defense did not show up. I witnessed 2 different occasions where an Arizona player ran right past Micah Parsons and Jaron Kearse, and they had no idea that they ran past him.
Mm-hmm.
And Micah Parsons is a transcendent defensive player, but are you kidding me?
Yeah, I feel
that was probably the easiest zone read in Dobbs' career.
Yeah, it was like their defense was like, they're not gonna do nothing. We're not gonna, and they like weren't ready. Like they didn't take it serious, and they just underestimated them, and they just weren't ready.
No, and then
they took them too light. I mean, at the end of the day, this is an NFL team.
They got their asses kicked. The defense had no answers.
Nothing at all.
Arizona did whatever they wanted to, and it started by attacking Micah Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes. I'll reiterate my statement. They need to do less talking, and I understand that they have to talk to the media because it's part of their collective bargaining agreement or whatever. It's part of their contract that they have to speak to media. But you don't need to say unnecessary things, especially about the team that just beat your ass and ran for 222 yards on you.
Mm-hmm.
They averaged 7.4 yards on an attempt every time they handed the ball off. Dude, that's if a team can do that, they never get in third down.
Yeah.
It's first down, run, second down, run, first down again.
Yeah.
It's a rinse and repeat. Like they had no answer. The first two games, we only gave up 120-yard run. We gave up 3 of them in that one game. 2 of them led to scores. And he makes a comment that we don't need to play down to our opponents. They beat the shit out of you.
Oh, they smoked them.
The offense was able to move up and down the field, but we just couldn't score in the red zone. If we're able to score in the red zone, we win that game. But the defense couldn't get a stop. And they make unnecessary comments about a team that just beat you. Despite that they were 1-2. They could have easily been 3-0 going into this game, just like we were, or 2-0 going into this game, just like we were. Because they lost by one score in the first 2 games.
Yeah.
And they did what they couldn't do against the Giants. They held a lead.
Mm-hmm.
The damn Giants beat them down 21. And we're a team that hung 40 on them in the first game of the season, and we couldn't even beat them.
Yeah.
So what I need to see going in for the Cowboys, because they have a good defense they're facing this week. They have the New England Patriots at home. They aren't slouches. They're not just going to give you everything that you want. They're going to make it difficult on that offense. So what I need from this defense is I don't want to hear any talking leading up to this game. Like if they're being interviewed, the only thing that they should be saying is, "We're focused. I'm focused on the New England offense and making sure what happened last week doesn't happen again." I don't need you talking about Jalen Hurts or Brock Purdy. That's who we're facing after we face the New England Patriots. There should be no mention of the 49ers, period, going into Sunday against the New England Patriots.
Oh yeah.
Or we're gonna lose that game.
Focused. They got
our next 3 games are really good defenses, or 2 good defenses, one complete team, a good defense, and a good offense.
Mm-hmm.
Good defense is New England, complete team is the Niners, and a good offense is the Chargers. We could easily lose those 3 games if the defense doesn't come prepared.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're not focused, and they're not staying on track with the game plan instead of running their mouth to the media. Man, I was pissed.
I know.
And another thing that made me mad, and we can move on to our last game and everything, but people are blaming this on Dak.
And I don't think that's fair.
They're blaming it on Dak. They're saying that what's going to happen when the defense doesn't get scooping scores or pick sixes or isn't turning the ball over and they can't make a stop, then everyone's going to look to Dak. Can Dak put them in the position to win? Dak Prescott didn't. From looking at his QBR, his QBR is a 40. But I don't understand how, when he completed more than 50% of his passes, he's averaging 6 yards an attempt, and he had a late interception to try to bring him back.
Yeah, they're gonna put the blame
on the other side
all day.
Like on the other side of the ball, I don't even know what Arizona's total yards were, but it was insane. Like, our passing yards and rush yards are flipped for Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona had our passing numbers, and their passing numbers were our rushing numbers. yards total were pretty much the same. It's just we couldn't score in the red zone.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, they're always going to blame your star, and I don't think he should have been blamed for that one.
I mean, people
He
aren't
did
even
what he
calling him a star. They're not even saying it's his team anymore. They're saying that it's Micah's team. Well, I don't want it to be Micah's team if all he's doing is talking and making unnecessary comments, disrespecting a team that just beat his ass
Mm-hmm.
right after the game. That was the comment that was literally the comment he made in his media when they interviewed him at his locker. That we don't need
Yeah.
to play down to our opponents.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that. If this is supposed to be his team, then he needs to not do that. Have you ever heard Dak talk down an opponent? The only thing negative I've ever heard him say, it's kind of what he said today. He said that the media built up the Cowboys to be this dominant, and they got what they wanted. Because what were reporters asking him his first two games? They brought up his interceptions from last year.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got his interception. So that's the reason why he made that comment. Y'all got what y'all wanted. Y'all kept bringing up his interceptions. He threw a pick. There you go. That's the only thing negative or anything anytime Dak's ever come at somebody. But since I can remember, since Mike has been drafted, he's always had something to say about another team. And that team happens to either eliminate us in the playoffs or beat the brakes off of us.
Yeah.
So I need the defense to dial it down, stay focused. Or we could easily be 2-4 before the bye. And that's not going to win our division, let alone make a playoff spot.
Not at all.
All right. Now we're going to step into this straight up trouncing that the Miami Dolphins put up on the Denver Broncos. Laid a
This
whole
was embarrassing.
70 burger. And to any of the new football fans that don't really watch football that often or know the history of football, the last time someone put up 70 points, it was 1966. And this is the fourth time it's happened. So that's what we're working with here.
Put it the Dolphins put up 726 yards on the Broncos. 726. They had three. Bro.
Trying to find it on ESPN and I can't even find it. They're trying to hide it. It was so bad.
They put up 376 yards passing, 350 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Bro.
It was kind of
Remember how Sean Payton talked so much trash about the old coach and how they were so bad?
Yeah, but his defense didn't allow 70 points.
70.
70. They scored
7-0.
and they were all touchdowns. There was not a single field goal kicked. The only time the kicker came out was to kick the extra point and to kick to do the kickoff. They didn't
Bro, that
punt.
was
They didn't punt a
embarrassing.
single time. They didn't kick a single field goal. It went touchdown, touchdown, first quarter, touchdown, 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 first half, touchdown, touchdown, third quarter, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. And Tua was pulled with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Bro, I feel like, did Denver have defense? Did they have a defense on the field?
If so, if I'm the head coach, we're practicing as soon as we get back. Like there's
They
no
need to
off
do
day.
something.
There's no off day.
I mean, when a team beats you 70, if they beat you by 50 points and your quarterback has 306 yards passing,
They had no run game.
like Russell Wilson had only 3 yards less passing than Tua.
I mean, I would say a lot of those were were near the end because kind of when you're down. What was it? They were down.
But
Oh,
still, he put up 306 yards passing.
yeah. I mean, you got no choice when you're down 35 to
Sean Payton need to have a
13
defensive
at the end
meeting.
of the first half. I mean,
I think the defense needs to have a meeting. Like they need to talk about something.
like that was you can't. That was Russ did not play terrible. Russ did
Mm.
Russ played well,
Went
but
23 for 38 for 306.
he had no other option. That was the only thing he could do was to
I
throw the
mean,
ball.
he threw one interception. I get it, but this motherfucker he was down by 50 points.
Yeah,
You gotta make something happen.
he was down. It was 35-13 to start the second half.
Like what?
There was there was no coming back for that. Like, I mean, so we're not gonna see Miami do this again.
But here's the funny part:
This was an aberration.
the time of possession was only 6 minutes different.
Yeah.
Come on now, that's
They-
embarrassing.
Miami had the turnover. They won the turnover battle. 2 forced fumbles and a pick. It's kind of what undid the Denver Broncos, and they were one dimensional. They could only pass the ball. So it explains why why Russ is 23 of 38, and Williams only had 11 carries. They had no other choice but to throw the ball.
Yeah, I
And it
mean,
didn't-
they were down.
I mean, it didn't do anything for them. I mean, because at the every time Miami got the ball, like I said, they didn't punt a single time or kick a single field goal. They
These
scored.
dudes put up 35 points a half.
Yeah.
A half.
Yeah.
There was teams that didn't even put up 21 points in a game.
All right. Wound is still fresh now.
Oh, yeah, my bad. But like
Vietnam
bro,
flashbacks.
flashbacks, PTSD.
Yeah.
But like all you can say is like Sean Payton came in and you're talking hella shit,
Oh, he did. And it was about former
and
coaching.
they lost by 50 points.
Yeah. I mean, Mike White came in. But Tua threw a touchdown pass he threw a touchdown pass to the rookie Devon Achane from Texas A&M, and then was pulled at 14:55 to start the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Mike White, the backup quarterback, came in after that and threw a touchdown pass.
This man threw two. He
To
threw
Robbie-
2 passes, and one of them was a touchdown.
This man changed his name to Robbie Chosen, formerly known as Robbie Anderson. 68-yard touchdown pass. Mike White, the backup receiver.
Like, bro, I don't even know what to say about this game.
And then
This shit was embarrassing.
A-Chain capped it off with a 65-yard touchdown run.
This game was embarrassing.
Dude, right now I'm gonna rebuttal what Stephen A said Monday about this game, and he said it to Hall of Fame tight end Shannon Sharp, who won 2 Super Bowls for the Denver Broncos. But the Denver Broncos are a national disgrace.
Bro, they're horrible.
A national disgrace.
They should go to the XFL.
The Denver Broncos are 0-3. They have scored a total 69 points, and they have given up the league most, 122.
God dang.
70 of those came in one game,
Yes.
which probably won't happen again.
I got bored watching that game for real.
If it does happen again, there's going to be some significant changes on that defensive staff. Because there's no way they're going to part
Oh,
ways
yeah.
with, because you can't blame Russ for what the defense does.
No.
And I mean,
He
you can
played
kind
a
of blame
solid game.
you can kind of blame Sean Payton for it, but
But they gave up a first round draft pick to get him.
they
They
gave
ain't
up
get
a
rid of him.
first round draft pick and money to get him
They got to make that work.
because they had to pay him because he
Yep,
wasn't gonna, and he was still on a contract with New Orleans, so they had to they had to give up draft capital for a coach.
There's some college teams that would put up, that would hold Miami to less points.
Yes.
Like, come on. That's embarrassing, bro. If
Yeah,
I
it
played
was-
for Denver, I'd cut myself.
Oh, they probably made some. They probably cut some players. Probably.
I'd be retired. I'd retire instantly. As soon as that game was over, announce my retirement.
I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to be a part of this of the league anymore because I was a part of that embarrassment in the
Yep.
game.
I'd go right to the CFL. Yeah, that game was just bad. That's wow. Yeah. That's wow.
Yeah, apparently, rookie running back could hear the crowd at Hard Rock Stadium chanting 3 more points. I guess they wanted them to break the record for most points scored in a single game ever because they 70 points has been scored 4 other times. No other team has scored more than that,
That's so crazy, bro.
which would have been the only field goal kicked in that entire game.
I thought I was watching a Madden game.
I mean, what? Yeah, one of Tua's touchdown passes was a no-look shovel pass when he was running out of bounds.
Yeah.
I mean, you let that happen. There's fucking put the gas to the fire,
crazy,
bro.
bro.
Like, it was bad. It was bad, very bad. All right, Babs. That pretty much wraps up our segment of
I hope Denver gets counseling.
Denver
I
needs
really do. They
De-
need counseling.
Denver needs to
Retire.
they need to talk about Dion and have Dion Sander and the Buffaloes come up there and show them how to stop an offense.
They need to do something, bro.
Because with the way that they performed, Colorado Buffaloes would have put up 40 on them.
Yeah. I just was. Oh my god, bro, that was just bad.
It was
All
it
the
was
way
bad.
around.
It was bad.
I literally felt bad for him, for real. I did. I felt bad.
Yeah, we had I had NFL Red Zone going. You had one game playing, and then we had the Miami Dolphins game going, and I stopped watching that when they were up. When
I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't watch the second half.
I'm glad I picked all the Miami players to go over. They got some yards for me.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna dive into our next segment. Moving on to the Week 4 power rankings. Probably going to be some changes here with what happened. Start off with the number 1 team that really didn't make any moves, the 49ers.
I mean, they're playing solid.
They
They haven't gave a reason not to be number 1 yet.
they're
They're the
put a
most
whooping.
consistent right now.
Yeah,
They're playing so consistent.
They beat the brakes off the Giants Thursday night.
Yeah.
Not much that they could really do without Saquon. They didn't have a run game. Giants kind of like did some things on a couple drives, but they only put up 12 points. Not much that you can really say there. So I don't have anything to say about the Niners being 1. They're pretty much the best team in the NFL right now. So
Yeah.
go there.
They're playing the most consistent.
Oh yeah. Moving up from, they were ranked the 4th best team. Power rankings. It's now the number 2 team, the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, when you put up 50 points, they kind of move you up a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, offensive efficiency, they're number 1 in the league right now.
Yeah, the first. I mean, the Niners are right behind them second. So I don't have a problem with those being the top 2 teams right now.
Mhm.
Um, I would say right now Miami is the team to beat right now in the AFC.
They're playing. Whew.
Yeah, not many teams that are going to be able to put up the kind of points that they can.
No.
Um, so it's going to be interesting. I think we both had the. I have the Bengals winning AFC. Yeah,
Yeah, you have the Bengals winning, and I have the Chiefs winning. But the way it's going now, it might be Miami.
yeah, it might be Miami that we're going. Staying at number 3, the Philadelphia Eagles.
I figured they would.
Yeah, they. I think there's still some question marks. I mean, their offensive efficiency is ranked ninth out of all the top 10 teams. That's really not really that great. Um, I would still say, I mean, despite that, they're 3-0,
Yeah, they're
finding
playing
out
good.
ways to win. They're leaning on their run game, which is
It's
good.
working.
So that's probably what their offense is going to be like this year. Probably not going to have a big passing numbers. So uh, if I was a fan, I'd get buckle in because your strength of schedule is starting to hit you pretty hard.
Yep.
Yeah, you still got the Cowboys to play twice. That's not going to be easy. Still got Washington. You got to play twice. That's not going to be. Despite how they played against Buffalo, I don't expect them to play that way against the Eagles.
No.
So only going to get tougher from here. So we'll see what their run game looks against better defense. They play Kansas City, I think,
Yep. I
um,
think so.
and they play Miami too. It's going to be interesting. Really
Hmm.
interesting. Coming up to number 4, they were not ranked 5th last week. Kansas City Chiefs. They're
Yeah,
ranked
they're
8th
starting.
offensive efficiency.
They got Kelsey back. They're starting to play a lot better now.
Yeah. The story of this game, of their game, was the fact that 96.5 million people were watching.
Yeah.
And it's because of one
Hmm.
person only, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
When when the Swifties found out that Taylor Swift was there to watch her man play, everybody else found the game and watched it. That's pretty much what happened. There was even on the Taylor Swift Reddit where one of her fans was explaining to all her other fans what football is.
Hmm.
And Travis Kelsey's jersey sales skyrocketed.
Oh yeah.
So that's the
I knew
biggest
that was
story
gonna
coming
happen
out of
though.
this game. But I mean, they were going against the Bears. They manhandled them. So
Yeah.
they do have to work on their efficiency. They're right above the Eagles at 8th. Um,
Yeah, and
so
I think with Kelsey coming back, that's gonna make it a little easier on Mahomes because it's gonna people are gonna eye him, so it's gonna
especially
open
the
up
red
other
zone.
avenues. Yeah, it's gonna open up more things for him. He has that target. Kelsey don't really miss, and then two, even if they double team him, that's gonna leave somebody else open. It's just gonna help him a little more.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
And you've noticed that since he's been back, the way they play is just way different.
oh definitely. So moving up to number 5, they were ranked 7th last week. The Buffalo Bills. They kind of put it on the Washington Commanders. Um, Sam Howell did something that he hasn't done really in his short careers. Commit many turnovers. He threw 3 picks?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're all late in the game. A couple of them, I think, led to scores. So gonna have to work on that for Washington. But I mean, for Buffalo, they compared to their opening loss to the Jets, they haven't committed any turnovers. Allen's been efficient. Um, I think I think I'm holding strong with my division winner here with the Bills. They still
We'll
have to
see.
face Miami. Still got Miami they got to deal with. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
anybody that has to deal with Miami is going to be interesting.
yeah. Probably the most significant drop in the top 10. They're ranked number 2 coming in to this week. They're now 6th. The Dallas Cowboys, and I'm going to say I don't disagree. They probably deserve this dip that they had. Their biggest issue on offense is, of course, highlighted in what we talked about in the first segment, red zone.
Yeah,
But
they
they
didn't do nothing.
but their offense efficiency is ranked higher than every other team besides the top 2 above them.
Yep.
So when it comes to us, we play Buffalo later in the year, and we play Philadelphia twice. We will see Miami later in the year, and we'll see the Niners week 5. So the 3, 4, and 5 teams, I think that we can move the ball on. But it's going to come down to it's going to come down to the defense, man. The defense cannot give up 200 rushing yards and expect to, let alone in the season, the playoffs, man. You're not going to be able to win any kind of game if you have no run defense.
Yep.
All right, coming in at number 7, they dropped 1 spot. Was the Baltimore Ravens.
Actually, I thought they were going to drop more than that.
Yeah. I'm surprised they only dropped 1 spot. I mean, they were in the game the whole time, so that's probably a reason why. And they only lost by 3 points, and it went to overtime for that. Their biggest injury on offense, their biggest issue on offense is injuries. Speaking of injuries, it's like the past 3 years. This is what's cost this team
Yeah, they can't keep people healthy.
a deep playoff run.
They really can't.
I mean, their offense efficiency is ranked 12th. That's not really going to win you many games either. And that highlights what he said in the offseason. He wants to throw for over 6,000 yards. You need to pick up that efficiency a little bit, or you're probably not going to pass for 4,000 yards.
Yeah, definitely.
Staying where they were last week is Detroit.
They're playing solid. I'd like to see them pick up.
They're coming off of
they could play way better.
Bounce back. Yeah, they're coming off a bounce back win against Atlanta. Moving up, probably the biggest move in a positive manner. Coming in at 9, they were 16th last week. The Cleveland Browns.
They're another team. They're playing really solid right now.
Yeah, they played Tennessee last week, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just another defensive performance, man. Their defense is hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah, their defense is playing really well.
And so the 2 biggest defenses that talked a lot in the offseason were the New York Jets and the Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The Dallas Cowboys have no more excuses because they are no longer facing the New York teams. All right.
Yep.
The New York Jets were saying that they were kind of talking that they have the potential to be really good, which they do. But they do a lot of talking. What's one thing the Cleveland Browns defense has not done at all this entire season or offseason?
Go play.
They don't run their mouths. They let their play on the field do the talking for them.
Yep, that's what you got to do.
And they're beating up opponents. Like the only reason why they have that loss is because the Steelers defense put it on their offense.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason. If they can figure out their passing situation, They could easily win y'all's division,
Oh yeah, they have it. They could.
but that could also cost them the division
Yep.
because their efficiency is 24th. That's the lowest out of all top 10 teams. The lowest. And that won't get you far. That might help you get into the playoffs, but you're not gonna you probably won't get past the wild card.
Yeah, defense wins championships, but you got to have some kind of offense with that.
Mm-hmm. All right, rounding up the top 10. Moving up from 14 last week is the Seattle Seahawks. So they've got the third highest offensive efficiency with fourth on this list. Who they play? They played
Seattle played.
on a blank. They played Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina.
Bryce Young was out. I think it was concussion protocol, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was percussion.
So Andy Dalton got his first start as a Panther. I mean, they only lost by 10. It was a good performance by Carolina. Turnovers is what cost them that game. Seahawks, I mean, seems like the offense is starting to get into better form. Second straight game, putting up 30 points. This one didn't have to go into overtime. Defense made a few stops. I don't have any issue with them being at number 10.
Mm-mm.
All right, moving up to 11. They were 15th last week, is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Their offense efficiency is ranked 30th.
Yeah, that makes sense. We
Bottom.
like trash.
Bottom of the league, near the bottom of the league. Their biggest issue on the offense, of course, is their run game.
Yeah, if we can get our run game going, it's just it'll be a lot better. And I think they're starting to figure out the run game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I saw any jet sweeps,
No,
so that's a positive. That's a plus for me.
didn't have any boneheaded offensive calls.
No, it was a pretty good game. I think if they can hit that stride and keep that stride, they're going to be fine.
Let's throw on some pretzels while we finish this up.
Hell yeah.
Moving up from 19 last week. Had a pretty big comeback. Number 12, the Green Bay Packers. They were down the
Neither
entire
one of
game.
us thought they were going to win that game.
Nope. You had them picked. I had the Saints picked, and they blew a 17-point lead. Woo! Of course, glaring reason why Derek Carr got hurt.
He's got that sprained AC, and he's going to be. I think he's kind of week to week.
Yeah, he's week to week. Yeah, I don't expect him going. He probably
won't
won't
be starting this week.
Yeah,
they're going to give him a week off at least.
yeah. I mean, Saints had a chance to win this game at the very end, and they missed a field goal from the 10.
Yeah.
So gotta have better execution. Can't miss those crucial field goals because that's like, oh no,
Yeah.
that'd make you 3-0. Big lead. You got there's only two teams that you really have to contend with, and they both lost. So they could have got that half game lead, and they kind of threw it. Love, He's playing really efficient. He's got 7 TDs, only 1 pick, and it came in that game against the Saints. Um, his completion percentage is 53%. Um, the league average is 65. Um, I mean, it's what his third career start, fourth career start, or
Yeah, I
whatever.
mean, I think he's playing really
Yeah,
good.
he's still playing it. He's still playing well. He's not turning the ball over. Only 1 pick so far this year. So I expect them to win more games. It's probably going to come down to them and Detroit, who wins their division, because you got both the Bears and Vikings starting 0-3. So staying where they were from last week is Tampa at 13. I think that they could have beaten the Eagles. They couldn't slow down their run game. Going into this game, that was the biggest reason why I had Tampa winning. Because they were only giving up 50 yards rushing the previous 2 games. But that run defense did not show up.
Not at all.
I'm surprised that NFL wasn't harsher and dropped them, but I'm fine with them staying there. Any comments on the Niners, the
Not
Buccaneers?
really. I think it's they. I think them staying there is pretty solid.
Yeah. Moving up 3 spots from 17 last week at the Los Angeles Chargers at 14. The third ranked offensive efficiency team. The biggest issue is they can't sustain a run game.
Yeah.
Man,
Having
they-
Austin Eckler out is hurting them too.
yeah.
And
It
now
could
they just
easily
lo-
be 3-0
lost,
though.
They just lost what's his face to the ACL,
Mhm.
so that's gonna hurt them.
Yeah, not gonna be good. But they could easily be 3-0.
Oh yeah, easily.
All right. Dropping 5 spots. They were 10th last week. The New Orleans Saints. I think this is kind of warranted. They gave up a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
How do you shut out a team for 50 minutes? No, 45 minutes,
Yeah, right.
and then give up the last 15 minutes, those crucial 15 minutes of the game? Your defense just folds.
Just folds.
They got to shore up their offensive line. That's their biggest issue on offense. And they're ranked 16th in offensive efficiency. So, I mean, they move the ball, but they can't protect their quarterback. Hence why Derek Carr is week to week with his sprained AC joint. I didn't expect this team to drop this far. They were ranked 11th last week. It's the Atlanta Falcons. They dropped to 6th. I thought they played well against Detroit, but
Yeah, I thought they played pretty good.
I haven't seen Kyle Pitts. They're not using him that much, and that's a big tight end. I think that they need to get him more involved. So it's saying that their biggest offensive issue is finding an early rhythm. They're ranked 19th in offensive efficiency. But I mean, they're not playing terrible. They've been in all 3 of their games.
Yeah, all their games have been good.
Mhm.
They haven't been blowouts or nothing like that. They're not the Broncos.
That was for damn sure. Definitely. Dropping 5 spots They were ranked 12th last week. They are now ranked 17th. The Washington Commanders. Yeah, I saw this coming. He was sacked 6 times last.
Yeah, a lot picks. They were just.
He's got the league high in sacks. 19. That's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. He was. Yeah.
That's their biggest struggle on offense is their pass protection. They're ranked 20th in offensive efficiency. They couldn't score. Oh no, he got sacked 9 times against the Bills.
9 times?
Yeah.
Jesus, holy shit.
So they definitely need to fix that up because it's fixing to get tougher for them. They got some division matchups coming up. So I won't be surprised if they keep dropping if they can't protect.
Yeah, they gotta protect him some.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't win a game when he's on his back 9 fucking times.
Right.
Like
staying where they were last week. The Bengals at 18.
I actually think the Bengals should go up a little bit.
Yeah. They're
They played a lot
22.
better this week.
Yeah, they played a lot better. Offensive efficiency is ranked 22nd. And their biggest issue on offense is their early down. They're not having success. What I think they need to do is they need to lean more on Mixon, especially with Burrow dealing with the calf strain since training camp. Like ease him on slowly, lean more on their run game. And
because if he can stay in the pocket, he showed it last night. If he can stay in the pocket, he plays really well.
Oh yeah. All right, this team was in the top 10 last week at 9, dropping 10 spots. The Jacksonville Jaguars. This is well deserved. They
played like trash.
They got stomped by an 0-2 team. They need better third down efficiency. They're 29th in third down conversion rate. That's bad.
Yeah, they're just not playing good at all right now.
No, I mean, despite the comeback game or the opening game they had against Indy, and that wasn't even easy for them. I mean, their last 2 games have been eye openers.
Definitely have been.
All right, moving up. 7 slots. They were ranked 27th last week. The Indianapolis Colts are at 20.
Yeah, that makes they're gonna steady climb all year.
Yeah, I would
see
say
them in the top 15, top 13.
Yeah.
By the end of the season, if they keep playing the way they've been playing.
Yeah, I would definitely say it's one of the biggest surprise for me this season, because not much was expected with Taylor being out. They need to have more plays downfield. They're ranked 28th in offensive efficiency so far. All right, coming in at 21, they were 24th last week. They raised 3 rankings. The New England Patriots got their first win of the season against the Jets. We both had them winning that game, so that was kind of obvious. Their biggest issue on offense is lack of explosive plays. I would kind of agree. The Patriots have just 3 passing plays over 20 yards. So that's the reason for the lack of their explosive plays.
Yeah, they don't have.
And it's not going to be easy for them either. They have Dallas coming up. I don't expect Dallas's defense to have another clunker like they did. They just better come prepared. Um, we've played Mac Jones before, and he's not Patrick Mahomes, but he's not terrible either. So,
Right.
all right, coming in at 22, the Los Angeles Rams. They were ranked 20th last week.
Yeah, they're. I don't know. They're playing good, but it's like
They're not consistent.
they really aren't.
And this is probably the one game Puka Nakua didn't do anything.
No.
He had like one late deep ball. So, I mean, I think he scored on that deep ball, but that was their only touchdown, and it was less than 2 minutes in the game. So, really didn't do much. I'm surprised they didn't drop further. But, I'm okay with them being there. The Giants stayed where they were last week. They were 23.
Yeah, I figured they would stay around where they're at.
Yeah. I mean, their biggest issue is just protecting their quarterback and getting Saquon back healthy.
Yeah. They need to get him back for sure as soon as possible.
Oh, man. The NFL did this next team pretty dirty, dropping 3 spots from 21 last week, the New York Jets. All right.
I'm surprised they didn't drop further, honestly.
It's not even really the NFL. This is ESPN that's doing them dirty. ESPN has their biggest issue on offense, Zach Wilson.
So did you see what was released today?
No.
Colin Kaepernick wrote a letter to the Jets to sign him. Yeah, they released the letter.
Wow.
So that should be interesting.
Yep.
They got to get rid of Zach Wilson. It's
Yeah.
either they get rid of Zach Wilson or that coach don't have a job at the end of the
I
season.
mean, Joe Namath even said that.
Yeah.
That's
They
not
got to
good.
do something.
Yeah, they definitely have to. Moving up from the dead last week, very warranted for this team because they put a whooping on my team. The Arizona Cardinals are now 25th. They
I knew they'd move up this week. I mean,
they still have some stuff to work on. ESPN is saying their biggest issue is their second half production. I mean, I guess you can kind of say that. I mean, they were able to hold the lead against us, so it shows some kind of growth. So, and they keep playing it the way that they're playing. They could easily get a wild card.
I don't think they will, but they can.
Yeah, I don't think they will either. It's going to be interesting what happens when Kyler comes back, though.
I think they'll get worse. That's
think?
me. Said what I said.
All right. On tape now.
I don't like them.
I think this team probably should have dropped further. They were ranked 25th. He only dropped 1 spot. Now, Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, I could see them dropping further. They're a good team. I don't know what they're doing though.
They lead the
They-
league
they need
in
to get
9
it together.
turnovers. Lead the league. Their 7 fumbles lost are tied for the second most through the first 3 weeks in the NFL history since 2000.
Yeah, they better hold the ball.
Yeah. They got to
Yeah,
figure
playing
out
that.
something. Because
Yeah, definitely do.
I don't know who they have this week, but they might go 0-4. All right. Getting to the last few picks or teams. Dropping 1 spot from last week from 26 to 27 is the Raiders. Kind of saw this coming. They got their butts whooped.
Yeah, they need to get on the same page.
Garoppolo leads the league in interceptions with 6.
Yeah, he's got to start playing a little smarter.
Mm-hmm. Jacobs is averaging 2.4 yards a
Yeah,
carry.
they can't run for nothing.
Can't say anything about Adams. He's doing his job.
No, he's doing great. It's
Yeah.
but they can't get a run. They can't get a run game going.
Mm-mm. And playing their biggest struggle on offense is their chemistry, which I would agree with.
Mm-hmm.
Moving up from rank 31 from last week, number 28, the Houston Texans.
Yeah, that's warranted. They played pretty good this week. They're getting way better.
Yep. They're ranked 21st in offensive efficiency. Their biggest issue right now is saying their run game. Um, I would say they're going to probably start including their run game more often. Um,
They're gonna have to.
yeah, I mean they had 4 starters missing the first 2 weeks, so it should get better with Laramie
yeah.
Tunsil and Titus Howard coming back. So
Yeah, absolutely. It'll get better.
all right, coming in at 29, they were 22 last week. The Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, they're another team. It's just they're not doing
Protection
it.
man. Titans are out averaging. They're allowing 4 sacks a game, and they're not disciplined. They're giving up too many penalties.
Mm-hmm.
Coming in at rank 30, they dropped a spot from last week. The Carolina Panthers.
That's another one. They
I
got to
think if
start getting. They got to start doing something.
I say if they throw up their offensive line, they can be a good team.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
all right, coming into our second to last team. I actually think this team should probably be dead last, but
Yeah, they should
either
definitely
either
be
one of
dead
these
last.
teams could be dead last. But we'll just start with the rank 31. They were 28th last week. Denver Broncos. 70 points. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep, 70.
And
70.
yeah, coming in dead last. They were second to last week. They only put up some garbage time numbers and garbage time scores against the Chiefs, the Chicago Bears. This is
Someone getting fired soon. That's all I'm
yeah,
gonna say.
yeah.
Someone's getting fired soon.
It's not going to be their head coach because their head coach is only in his second year. So, or it might be. You never know.
They got to tighten up because they got a bunch of weapons and they are not using them at all.
Yeah, they've been outscored 106 and 47 in their first 3 losses.
Yeah.
And since the start of 2022, Fields has had the worst QBR.
And the worst two teams play each other next week. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, shit. All right, well, that wraps up that segment of power rankings. Now we can get into our last segment of the episode with our weekly picks going into week 4.
Last week I finished at 9-7.
Yeah.
Freak finished at 7-9.
Mm-hmm.
So for the season, I'm up 30-18 to his 26-22.
Going in the wrong direction, damn it.
Do you need me to help you with your picks this week?
Nope.
I got you. All right.
All right.
First game, Lions and Packers.
I don't know,
took the
man.
Lions. I took the Lions.
This one was hard for me because Green Bay came back, and both their opponents last week I picked for both these teams to lose. So the home game for Green Bay. I'm gonna take the Pack.
Okay.
Give me the Packers.
All right. Falcons at the Jags.
I like what I've seen from the Falcons the first 3 weeks. Can't say that for the same for the Jags. Give me the Falcons.
Took the Falcons too. Dolphins, Bills.
Oh, this is a tough one.
I took Dolphins.
This is gonna be the first test that Miami has as a defense. Give me the Dolphins.
And then next game, we got Broncos versus the Bears. They're at Chicago.
Give me Denver.
That's who I took too. I just don't think that Chicago has it together.
No.
All right, Ravens at the Browns. This is gonna be a good game.
Give me the Browns.
That's who
All
I
right.
took too. Stop cutting. you looking at my sheet.
I like the Browns here.
Bengals Titans.
Bengals, Titans.
Yep,
I got the Bengals.
that's what I took. All right, Colts. Rams at the Colts.
I got the Colts.
That's who I took too.
What the fuck?
God damn. Bucks at the Saints. I took the Bucks.
You got the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Carr's not gonna be playing. Yeah, give me the Bucks.
Commanders at the Eagles. I took Eagles.
I think this game is gonna be a lot closer than people think. But yeah, I give me the Eagles.
All right. Vikings at Panthers.
Vikings at the Panthers.
Yep.
I know the
I'm a
Vikings are
Vikings.
struggling. Yeah, Vikings are gonna get their first win of the season.
Steelers Texans.
You already
Steelers,
know.
of course.
I'm just playing. I'm going Steelers here. Even though Houston had a really good game, this can go. This can be close. Can't go into thinking that this is going to be easy for Pittsburgh. So it could easily turn into a trap game or an
Mhm.
upset. But I've got the Steelers as well.
All right. Raiders at the Chargers.
Raiders, Chargers. Ooh, give me the
Mhm.
Chargers. Chargers gonna.
That's what- Yeah, I
Are
took
gonna
the
come back.
Chargers too. The Raiders just aren't playing consistent enough right now.
Nah.
Patriots at the Cowboys. I already know who you're going.
Yeah, give me Dallas.
I went Cowboys. Cardinals at 49ers.
This one's gonna be. It's a division matchup. Give me the Niners. I think it's gonna be close.
Yeah, I went Niners.
I think
as
the
well.
Cardinals cover, but Niners win.
All right, now the Sunday night game: Chiefs at the Jets.
Give me Chiefs. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, and then Monday night: Seahawks at Giants. I went Seahawks.
Yeah, I got the Hawks as well. I think we agree. We agreed
I
on
think-
everything.
So
I gotta catch up.
and that means Lions are gonna win. That's the only game we're different on is the Lions. Lions Packers Thursday night.
I gotta catch up, and I can't keep making these boneheaded picks. So
You
you might see these next few weeks. Me and him only disagree on one or two games for me to try to slowly catch back up.
Yeah, he's trying to get on my level. I'm going flawless right now. I'm killing it.
yeah.
All right, that's all the picks.
Well, damn, pretzels are amazing. Woo! Worked again. Well, beautiful people. Hopefully we didn't bore you. This episode did go a little bit longer than last one. We're gonna
Little
try to
bit.
keep it at this time frame. I ranted a little bit on the Dallas Cowboys. I had to get a lot on my chest.
A little bit.
So we're gonna we're gonna dial that down. We won't rant about our favorite teams too much when we talk about them, because I mean, kind of hard not to talk about Dallas. They're the most talked about sport. And then if I'm gonna talk about my team, it's only fair to talk about the Steelers, and they're
You
playing
already know.
and they're playing really good football. So
Hey guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on
tune
all.
in.
Yes, and follow us on X. Description is in the link. Link is in the description. I mean, you know what I said. You already know. This is what happens when you're tired.
You got his
Click on the link.
first little clusterfuck of
Follow.
bubbling some words.
Yeah.
But you get what he's saying. Follow us on Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, now known as X, at 2GuysPC. At 2GuysPC. Tweet us anything you want to say. We'll take a look at it and We might bring it up in an episode or whatever. Um, yeah. Don't forget, every Wednesday, 9 a.m. EST, Two Dudes Pod.
Appreciate you guys for being here.
We're out of here, and you guys have a fantastic week. Thursday is right around the corner. Let's enjoy some football. Later.
Later.